Welcome to Carter's Retro Reviews. Today we'll be reviewing a Baku Baku animal for the Saturn. Look at it. It's one of my best condition cases. It looks so good. Anyway, if you get a few moments, like my Facebook page because every now and again when I'm on YouPorn or Pornhub or one of those, I accidentally click the share button and it ends up on that page. So, you know, I mean, you can like it for the retro stuff, but I do like some pretty good stuff. I link by accident. And then sometimes it's a little bit embarrassing, so you can also have a laugh. I reviewed this game before, and this is merely a do-over. Jokes were bad, voice recording wasn't very good, and the review had no structure, and I apologise to everyone who sat through it the first time. One of the things I was doing at the start was assigning arbitrary numbers like IGN and GameSpot do, and realised early on that this was fucking poison. Several articles and even documentaries have described the problems it brings. Even in a forum discussion, 4 comments in, we already have 4 different interpretations on what a 5, 7, 8 and 9 out of 10 mean. And yet strangely they all agreed on what a 6 out of 10 means. No one gives a shit. So this review will not have that. Baku Baku Animal is a Sega exclusive released in 1995 and the following year saw a release on PC, Saturn and Game Gear. The version we will be focusing on is the Saturn version. It's a Tetris puzzle game but with a unique twist: animals and their fruit. I spent a lot of time in the arcades throughout the 90s and to me it was a no-brainer. While Nintendo and Sony were doing their thing, I was being awestruck by arcade games that no mere console could replicate. And even though the Saturn does some ports which might not be 100% replication that we seek, it did a damn good try and in a lot of cases did an excellent job considering the technology we had compared to the beefy arcade cabs. Give the people games like Scud Racer and release those Japanese exclusives that now go for bullshit amounts of money due to the exclusivity worldwide, and you would have a console with a serious threat to the market, unlike the serious joke it became. If you want one of the many reasons to own a Saturn, this would be it, and I would go as far to say that due to its addictive nature, that it could very well turn up on a lot of people's top 10 and 20 lists for the console. I mean, it wouldn't enter mine, but shit, that's because the competition is fucking fierce. But regardless on that fact, I have some nostalgia with this game that could perhaps prevent me from assessing the game critically. So let's put the rose-coloured glasses on and see how this all pans out. Presentation is fun and harmless. It's not bad, not outstanding, but still pretty good, and definitely better than average. With a description like that, I've pretty much given it a number already, haven't I? Both menu and in-game uniformly have this bright, bubbly look, which is in sync with the rest of the theme the game has going for it. The whole thing is so family friendly, I might just get offended by its safeness. Graphics of the game are pretty remarkable, all things involved. They're not 100% perfect, but god damn, they're really good regardless. There's no glitching and the animation is smooth. The colours are bright and not a single bit of bleeding. Sound is strange in the sense that I will agree that it's good, but not great. It's really cutesy music which ties in with the theme, but it's not memorable. It's an effective way to add to the environment of the game, but not really so amazing I could sit there and just listen to the soundtrack separately. It's not like it was Shinobi Legions and Shinobi X, where Baku Baku has some other version with an amazing soundtrack that adds a whole new dimension and it's worth buying on its own for. The flip side to that though is that I couldn't imagine a situation with this game where the music could really be anything else. The gameplay is very simple, but at the same time, the exact same thing could be said about Tetris, and that game is a classic and addictive as hell. What we're dealing with here is exactly the same sort of thing. In fact, I don't know why they don't do a mobile port of this game for the iOS. It ties in with the many other similar games already on the platform, and it's a classic. You could swap out the controls via a controller for touch controls. It would be one of the very few Sega games that could make an easy transition and not feel forced or have gimpy controls. Now, talking about gimpy controls, that would be an accurate segue if that wasn't this game. Baku Baku does not have gimpy controls. In fact, they couldn't be any more snappy, responsive, and ideal even if they wanted to be. And so they damn well need to be when your blocks are building out of control and you need to make some quick, decisive moves. All the buttons are in the right place and everything is just right. Replay value here is a 2-player game, but I could easily see this being some sort of game you could have in a rotation with your other favourite Saturn titles because it's easy to start to play and a little difficult to master. And those are the sorts of games that always have replay value. Would I recommend this game? Of course I would. I still feel that even though this review was pretty glowing, I would go as far to say that the game is greater than the sum of its parts. One thing I mentioned in my original review is that I don't understand why this got a release outside of Japan, but I rescind that statement. Simple addictive gameplay that has the right components to really give a good overall experience. It all makes perfect sense, so it's a yes from me.